Hello, Jesus House DC leaders. This is Pastor Chinyere, and I'm here to give us a very brief demo on how to use Ezigoals.com. At our last workers meeting, I started to introduce this tool, and I'm just going to give us an overview of how it works. Ezigoals is an online social media performance management tool. It's being used by organizations to handle goal tracking, performance reviews, and such like. It's very non-pressured, user-friendly, social media friendly. It kind of works like Facebook. So I want to first start by thanking you for watching this video, because you could have been doing anything, but for the fact that you've paused to take a few moments to watch this video, it tells me a whole lot about your commitment to ensuring that Jesus House DC is a church of excellence. I also want to remind us that this year our focus as leaders is building effective systems to better achieve our vision of RAMP. And this video is actually a byproduct of that promise. So please just take a few moments of your time to watch the entire video, as I believe it will help you get started on how to use Easy Goals to enter your goals, perform your reviews, as well as the highly recommended 360 feedback that was recommended at our leadership retreat early this year. So, as the saying goes, whatever we don't measure never gets done. So let's get started. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to be giving us a brief overview of what I intend to cover in this demo. First, I'm going to talk about how to create an EasyGoal account, how to log in, how to invite friends, such as your boss, your peers, your direct reports, how to create a goal or objective, how to share goals with friends, how to mark your goals as complete, how to conduct reviews, how to do the 360 feedback, and of course, other features and tips. Okay, so right now we're at the homepage of Easy Goals, and I got here by simply going up here and typing easygoals.com. So when you type that, it brings you to this homepage. And if you don't already have an account, the first thing you do is that you go up here where I'm moving the mouse around and click on Create Account. And when you click on that, it's very simple. It's just going to ask you for three things. First name. So I'm just going to type in as if I was trying to create an account. My first name, um, last name, and my email address. And then of course you're going to agree to terms of use and then confirm. Since I already have an account, it's not going to let me do that because I already have an account created with this email address. But this is all that it takes to create an account. And the other beauty of this tool, which I like, is that if you already created an account for yourself and you're trying to invite either your peer, your direct report, or even your boss, in this case either a minister in charge, associate pastor, senior pastor, or pastor in charge, by simply inviting the person by typing in their name and their email address, it automatically creates an account for them. And when that happens, all they have to do is go into their email, click to log in, and then it already provides them with a temporary password which they can change. Okay, so I'm just going to cancel back out of this. And if you already have an account, because I've seen a lot of you have created some accounts or accounts for yourself, all you do is that you click and you log in. So I'm going to be logging in with my personal account, and you just go ahead and log in. So when you log in, you can see it brings you to your homepage, and I have a little bit of activity going on my homepage. If you're logging in for the first time, there won't be a whole lot going on this page, but you can go ahead and get started. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about is like how to invite friends. So if you log in and it's a brand new account, there are different ways you can invite friends. One, you can click up here where it says friends. If you can see my mouse moving up here, you can click up there where it says friends. And then there are two options here. One, you could either find a friend that's already on EasyGoals, and quite a number of people have signed up. So if I click on this, it will actually take me to well, it'll actually have me type in the name of the person I'm looking for. So if you know the name of who you're looking for, you can just start to type their name. And if they're in the system, they will show up. So for instance, let me type someone I know that's in the system. You can see I pulled up Sister Uche here, and I can click on that person. So if I was looking for someone, that's one way to check if there's a friend already. And then the other one is that if you know someone you're trying to reach and you know they're not in the system, you click on um, invite a friend to join. So the same thing, you type in the person's name. So I don't know who you would like to invite, but if there's someone they're trying to invite that you know is not on the system yet, you can click, you can type in their first name, last name, email address, and then here you're basically going to indicate, is this person a friend, like a peer, someone that you manage, or is the person your boss? So once you do that, you click on invite person, and it's going to send the person an email, and then the person will have to accept, and by the time you come back, the person will be on your friends list. So as you can see here, I have a few people on my friends list. I have Deaconess Ryoke, Tokes, Akinsomi, and Deacon Bimbo, and there are actually a few other people that I'm in their circle based on the fact that we're in the same group. So that's how you invite a friend. And one key thing that everyone needs to have is a boss. So your boss is, like I said before, the head of department, your minister in charge, associate pastor, pastor in charge, senior pastor, but it has to be, you have to be reporting to somebody for you particularly to be able to do your reviews and the 360 feedback. So that's very important. And I'm just going to mention that if you don't have a boss. So, for example, my boss is Pastor Gandhi, but I know Pastor Gandhi is not on Easy Goals right now, and I also know that practically he might not be able to respond to every single thing that I might be sending to him. So, I have a separate account which anyone is free to use. I have a JHDC Ministry Operations account, which basically I created because it's a place where we can create groups for all the leaders within the church, and that way kind of follow what everybody is saying, and everybody can interact with everyone that is a leader in that's in the system, so we can create groups, and also we can have the general thing. So I created that, and also added that as my boss also, because I want to be able to use the system to the fullest. So anybody that and this particular, I think, will go for ministers that don't have, um, that maybe report directly to Pastor Gandhi. Feel free to use this as your own indicating a boss so that you can do your reviews and your 360 feedback. All right, a key thing that I didn't mention around the time I spoke about inviting your friends to join you on Easy Goals is the fact that when your friend does send you a friend request, so to speak, you will receive a notification on your end when you log into the system. At the top of the menu bar here, you see where it says friends plus one. And sometimes there might be an alert over here as well. But when you click on friends plus one, and then you go to the tab that says new friends, it also says plus one. You will see whoever is waiting there to be approved. So by clicking approve, you have made that person your friend. So I'm accepting this request. And by the way, this is the um, Ministry Operations profile. I just had to switch here because I had to quickly do a friend request, and I did it from this profile. So I just wanted you to see how that works. So if somebody reaches out to you, the way you know is that one, you get an alert, and the other, you see your friends here will say plus one, two, or whatever the number is, and you can just click on it, go to new friends, and accept the person as your friend. So I just wanted to also make sure that I took note of that. Okay, so now that we've talked about how to create an account on Easy Goals, how to log in, and also how to find or invite friends. The next thing I want to talk about now is how to actually create a goal or an objective using Easy Goals. So right now I'm at the home page, as you can see from the first tab that's highlighted here. And if I wanted to create an objective, which is really one of the major things that we want to do not only once a year as you perform the appraisals, because really the way the industry is moving now, appraisals are not really being done annually because you miss a whole lot. And that's the reason why a social media platform for performance appraisals like this actually exists, because the idea is that ongoing throughout the year you will continue to interact with this platform, putting in goals, marking of completed goals, and moving into the next set of goals. So the basic idea is that the church gives a theme for the year for the leaders, and the leaders go back and talk with the members of their team and say, okay, as regards this theme, how can we come up with goals that will help to achieve this overall objective? So in this case, like I mentioned during my opening statement, this year the theme is building effective systems to better achieve our vision of restoring hope and maximizing potential ramp. So the bottom line is that what we expect every leader to do is to go and break that down for their team. And every quarter you can have goals. Every other month you can have goals. And you're just knocking those things out throughout the year. And that way we're not waiting for the end of the year to do an appraisal. So really, come January, we'll be talking about our goals for maybe that quarter. And nobody's going to be telling you, okay, it's October now, it's time to do our appraisals. Because what we expect, I mean, it's time to look at our goals, because what we expect is that throughout the entire year, you're working on your goals. And then you can also do reviews as often as you want in a given year. And of course, your 360. So this is just to introduce us to start getting used to doing this on a regular basis. So to create an objective, the second tab up here, which I'm kind of going over here, that says goals, if you click on it, it's going to bring you to this page. And as you can see, I have one goal here, which is building effective systems to better achieve ramp. And I have one task here, which really doesn't apply only to me, but for all of the leaders, which is to give feedback on what effective systems that you have put in place this year in your department to better achieve our vision of ramp. So if you were to create a goal, what you would do is you'll come here, and where it says create a new goal, then decide who to share the goal with. You come here and enter the goal, and remember, because this is a social media platform, the idea is to share. So your goals can be personal, but I believe the leaders should always have goals that are cascading down to those who report to them. So I'm going to enter a goal here, which I had actually pre-typed. So I'm just going to paste it here. And this goal is to improve weekly attendance recording for children and teenage church. So this is the overall goal that I've created. And I'm going to be sharing this goal with some people. And one of the people I'm going to share this goal with is Rashida. So as I typed her name, you can see it came up. So I've just decided to select only Rashida here, and I'm going to add the goal. So as you add the goal, you can see that it's showing up here now saying improve weekly attendance recording for children and teenage church. And it's talked about that. It's mentioning here that I created the goal, and what I can do further now with this goal is I can click on this place where it says comments plus tasks, because when you create a goal, people can either comment on it or create a task under that goal. So if I click here, I can decide to create a task. And for an example, a task I'm going to create here is do training on how to use AMP Fusion. AMP Fusion is our system in the church for, collecting, and actually is the database of the church. So I can decide to say add task or add it as a comment. So, but this is a task, so I'm going to add it as a task. Another feature here is that if there's a document you wanted to include, you can find a document and upload here as well. So I'm just going to create add task. And another thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to go back to the goal as well, because I want to add somebody else to this goal. So I'm going to actually click on edit. So when I click on edit, there's more options. So I'm going to click on more options, and I'm going to add another person to this goal, and that is Uche, because Uche is in charge of the children's church. So I want her also to be I want to share this goal with both of these ladies. So I'm saving. So now this goal is now shared with two people. And same thing, since they have access to the goal, they can see the tasks that are underneath it. And what I expect, because when they log in, they will see this goal. And what they can do is either to create more tasks underneath this, or just to comment and say, oh yes, I've gone to the training, it was great, and that's it. But another key thing to do here is to set a due date, because if you create a goal and you have the key results underneath it and you don't have a due date, like we said, if we're not measuring it in any kind of way, it's not going to get done. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to um, set a due date. So for instance, I can say I want this done by the 24th of October. So that's the due date. And I can set the priority. Is this high priority? Is it low? Is it urgent? So right now I'm just going to say it's a medium priority. So when they log in, like I said, they will see all this information. And this is pretty much how to create a goal. There are other things you can do. You can decide to follow the goal. So I can click on follow so that anytime something's entered, I'll be notified instantly that somebody has done something with that goal. And you can also indicate here what kind of goal is it. Is it not a goal at all? Is it a personal development objective? Is it an annual key performance indicator? Is it a short-term goal or other? So that's what this is. You can select. And I'm just going to leave it as well, actually, I'm going to call it a short-term goal. So this is basically how to create a goal. And I'm going to go quickly back to the PowerPoint presentation that I had started to show earlier, because key thing to mention here when you're creating goals, you want to make sure your goals are SMART goals. And I'm sure most of us know what this is. Simply means that the goal should be specific, they should be measurable, they should be achievable or attainable, they should be relevant. So just like I talked about, we have a theme for the year. So the goal that you're creating, how does it relate to the theme? And also, of course, it has to be realistic. You don't want to create a goal that you know doesn't even apply to the context and wherever you are. And then, of course, it has to be time bound. And that's the reason why we set a due date, so that we know that by this time we are completing the goal. So I just wanted to show that to us real quick, and I'll go back to um, the goal that we just created, because another thing you can do is, if this goal is completed by whoever it has been shared with that needs to complete the goal, what they're going to do is that they're going to click set as complete. So when they click set as complete, it gives a date that the goal was completed. But since I know this goal has not yet been completed, I'm just going to leave it back the way it was. So this basically summarizes how you can create a goal or objective, whatever you decide to call it, how you can assign tasks, how you can follow the task. You can also like it. Like I said, it's a social media platform, so you can like it, you can put a comment, you can upload a file and stuff like that. So that's what this is about for this segment. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how to do our actual reviews. And this is the part where you basically are going over the objectives that you set for yourself for the year, and how you did on them. And basically, you rate yourself. It's actually very, very simplistic and very straightforward. Okay, so I'm going to click on the fourth tab here, which says reviews. And when you click on it, it just simply tells you to start a new progress review and share it with, in my case, because I had mentioned before that my boss is Ministry Operations, so that's who you share it with. It's going to be automatically shared with your boss. So all you need to do is to type the name of your review, and I'm just going to I'm going to call this Ministry Operations last quarter review. And I'm just going to create it. And when you create it, it puts it there, and then you can start it by clicking on it, on the link. So here, if you notice, if you look at the screen, um, it's giving you three options of doing this review. One is that you can just do the review, and just the default is that your boss is not here with you doing the review, but you just want to start, and your boss will then help to complete the process. There's also the option of my boss is here, and if you click on that, it will actually expect your boss to log in and to show that they're there doing the review with you. And then the last one is we have had the review, and this usually is what you come to do at the end. So you've had the review and you just want to come back in and add your notes of your discussion, and then finalize it for approval. So really the best option to go with is the default, which is because most likely your boss may not be there unless you plan to. So if your boss is there, then fine, you just do it together. But if your boss is not there, then just go with the first one. And truly, like I said, it's very straightforward. As you can see, it's giving you a summary of the goals that you had created for yourself for the year. And since none of mine are even marked here as complete, this might not really be such a great review, because the question is, okay, I see you have all these goals with the due dates, but nothing is complete. But this, of course, is for demo purposes. But in the event that these goals were complete, or even if some were complete and some were not complete, it doesn't really matter. The bottom line is that what you're expected to do is to put in some comments about what was going on with the goal. Or you can say something like, I worked on this, I tried to start on this goal, but I had to step aside to help my colleague to work on their goal, so I was unable to complete this one, and I intend to complete it in the next quarter. That's something that you can just put in the comment, if you have such as a comment. So basically that's what it is. But towards the end now, it's asking you to put in your comments of your general performance for that period. So if you click on this more information link, basically what it's saying is that you can answer questions like, what was pre-agreed to be measured? To what extent did you deliver on the goal? Did you achieve the key performance indicators within the pre-agreed timescale? So based on that reasoning is what you're meant to put inside here as your comment, like, yes, this is what we had agreed, and this is what I achieved, and I completed it within the time frame, or I was not able to complete it due to whatever it is, and then you put your comment there. But just don't leave it blank. It's good to at least put a comment. Then the 360 feedback, which I'm going to come to, if you have done yours, this is where you would have inputted the report so that your boss also sees that. And then the fourth section here is telling you to put in any of your aspirations and your plans, areas of development, as you serve in that ministry, or areas you want to work on for yourself for the next quarter. So that's what you type in this section. And the fifth section here is basically telling you to rate yourself. So there are three ratings going on here. One is yourself. So I can decide to say, you know what, I want to rate myself at a 4.60. If you were here with your boss, you would have done the second one, but you can't really rate your bosses because your boss is not really there. So when your boss does their own rating, it will also show. And then by the time you come back in to complete the appraisal, you will now put in the final score based on what you agreed on with your boss. That, okay, my boss maybe rated me a 3.5, so I mean, or something lower than myself. So we both agreed that really I'm around a 4.43. So this is just an example of how that ends. But at this point, you're basically only doing the first aspect until you've done the one-on-one with your boss, and then you come back and finalize it. And then when you're done with that, you sign off on the review. So in this case, even though you're signing off, you are still going to wait for your boss. Okay, I see it's giving me, it says you must add a 360 report. Okay, because the 360 is not included, you can't complete this process yet. But in the event that you had included the 360, you can sign it off. Another thing to note for the review is you can set the time. So really, in this case, your start date should be January of 2014. And I'm just going to put January 1, 2014. And then the end date should actually be September 30, 2014. So I'm just going to put September 30. So the time frame for your review is actually from January 1st to September 30. So please keep that in mind. And if you had entered your 360, because as you can see, without a 360, it won't even let you to complete the review. So in that case, I will really advise you get your 360 done first so that you can actually complete the review. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm just going to go back and we'll take a look at the 360. Okay, so I'm going to talk about how to conduct our 360 feedback aspect of the appraisal. I'm at the home page, so I'm going to go to the third tab, which says 360. So when you click on it, it's going to give you an overview here of what it takes to, what it means to do a 360 feedback. And it's also going to, it talks about the fact that you need to have at least one boss, of course, or I think one or two peers, one or two direct reports for you to be able to complete the process. As a matter of fact, if you don't have a boss, it won't even let you start. Um, the other thing here is that it shows three different types of 360 feedback forms that will be used. So really to have a better understanding, if you are a worker, you will use the one that says junior boss or team member. And that's it's they have a sample of what questions will be asked on that questionnaire, and also a sample of what the report will look like. If you're like an HOD, then the middle boss is the form that you will be using for your 360. And then if you're like a minister in charge, associate pastor, and basically the ministers, you'll be using the executive 360 feedback form for yours. So to go ahead and get started, I'm actually going to switch to another profile of mine because I won't be able to demonstrate it here, being that I've already created a 360 and the system doesn't allow you to have more than one 360 going on. So I'm going to switch to another profile that I have here on a temporary on the side just for practice purposes. So I'm going to type in here, I'm just going to call it, so I'm going to type in here, actually I've already pre-typed it, what I intend to call this 360 feedback. So I've just called it I've called it Chinyere Olujide 360 feedback. So you just go ahead and click start 360. And then when you do that, you can see that it creates a little of a form here and tells you to manually select or autofill the details. And basically what it's doing is that it's asking you to select the people that you want to do the 360 feedback on your performance or on how they see you working with you. So you're meant to have here it's going to tell you, it's telling me that I have two people listed, which is myself and my boss. And then it's now telling me that I need at least three more people. You can have as many as you want, but it must be at least three more. So by the time you start typing, I can choose to type here Dikin Bimbo as a peer. So I can select him. And basically, I'm going to say he's my peer. And I'm going to add him to the list. So saying I now have two people left. So I can decide to select, let me add Rashida since she reports to me, because I want to have people that report to me as well. So I'm going to call her direct report and add to list. And then I'm going to add, another direct reports. So let me add Uche since we already utilized him at the beginning, and also a direct reports, and I'll add to list. And like I said, you can add as many, but you don't have to make it too many people. So once you've entered all this, and you can also manually enter. So for example, if there's someone that hasn't signed up to Easy Goals, you could manually enter their details, first name, last name, email, select the relationship, and save. And when you save it, it will send them an email letting them know that you've selected them to be part of those that will do your 360 feedback review. So that's pretty much what it entails. And when you're done, you click on Launch 360, and then it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to send your list for approval, because your boss has to approve this, and it's going to ask you select the questionnaire that you're going to be using. So since I'm a minister, I will select executive. If you were an HOD, you select manager. And if you were a worker, you select support worker. So I'll select executive. And by the time I click on send list, it's going to send this request to my boss, and my boss will have to look through the list and say, okay, it's fine, and they will accept. Kind of the same way you accept someone that you've invited to be your friend, or you sent a friend request. It's the same process to accept, and then you can start. I mean, the system will generate a report, which will, or rather the review questionnaire, which will go to the people that you've listed within 24 hours, and it will set a due date for them to have completed the appraisal. And then all of this information is going to come back as a report collated in all the feedback is going to come back collated in one report. And you are also meant to do the 360 yourself, so you see your own feedback, your boss, your peers, your direct reports, all in one report. And is very, very I'm going to click out of here because I don't want to create this, since I'm just doing this for demo purposes. But I'll click on this sample report just to give you an idea of what the feedback will look like. It's broken down into overall combined scores, overall scores, uh, vision, confidence, the different areas where they're going to be rating you. And it comes back as a very, very extensive report, breaking down how the number of people that did the 360, how they rated you on vision, how you're proactive, integrity, taking responsibility, motivation, or relationship management, self-confidence, and then it scores it here as well as a graph chart. It shows it overall. It also shows it based on who scored you. So here, this example shows that self said that for vision, they rated themselves to be at like a 3, and the manager rated them at like a 2.6 or 2.7, and the direct report rated them at actually like a 2 point, maybe, I don't know, 2.3 or something like that. So basically just showing you how everybody rates you, and it just like I said, it's very extensive. So by the time you look at it, it gives you good feedback or about how people have viewed you in the work that you've done, and how they've appreciated you based on your contributions. And then towards the end, you're meant to have comments on yourself. You also see your manager's comments, and you're also going to see the comments from your direct reports and peers. So this is, like I said, just a summary sample report of what it will look like. Like I said, it's very extensive, and I believe it's very helpful for anyone to be able to go back and work on themselves based on the feedback that you've received. Okay, so this is the final segment of this video, and it's really just for me to give you some ideas of features and some tips on using the tool that just kind of makes it more fun and cool. So, well, for example, on the homepage, you could kind of like on Facebook, you can share what's on your mind and basically say what's happening. So you can share some news. You can say, "Yay, I just finished going through the training of how to use Fusion," and everyone that's in your group or that follows you will see that, and they can they can cheer you on. You can ask a question and go to everyone that is kind of linked to you. You can share a document, which is important. So if there's some things you want to talk about, instead of emailing back and forth, this platform lets everybody see everything when they log in. So you can upload a document. You can share a web resource. And I believe that there's actually a segment where you can actually share a photo. I can't see it right now, but I know that there's actually a place where you can also upload photos. So there's a lot of cool things really that you can do on the tool. Of course, you can change your profile picture, upload any picture that you like. You can like somebody's task, or you can follow people. You can make a comment, and just the same way you interact with the social media tool, this platform helps you to really interact. And I think one of the features that I really like is that you can actually instant chat. So kind of like when you're on Facebook, somebody can start chatting with you if they see that you're online, and that way you can just have a good conversation about something that you're working on, and you're not emailing back and forth, you're basically just chatting real time on the tool. So this is just a general overview of how to use easygoals.com. And I'm really hoping that we're going to take advantage of this tool, as I believe that it's one step forward in helping us to build effective systems, even as we try to achieve our vision of ramp. um, my closeout page here, I'm just going to emphasize once again that as we measure our goals and performance for 2014, um, my hope is that you will be inspired as you see the progress that you've made, and that you even want to do better, in the next quarter. And if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I believe everyone has my email address, colujide@jesushousedc.org. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your patience. And I hope this will really help you to get started using Easy Goals. I wish you the best. God bless you.